So you have gotten a little bit familiar with your Anaconda prompt. Now we want to start going into our IDEs, or what is known as an independent development environment. So that is something like Jupyter Notebooks or Spider. And if you open up your Anaconda navigator, you can see that you have both Spider, Jupyter Notebook, and for this course, we're mostly just going to use Jupyter Notebooks. So if you're unfamiliar where to launch your Anaconda navigator, you can just type it into your search bar and it will pop up. And you can launch Jupyter Notebooks from here, or you can launch it, directly from where it is installed on your computer. And I just pulled mine up by looking in my Windows 10 search bar. So I'm just going to launch a Jupyter Notebook. So I've clicked the launch button and a window will pop up and you can see your Jupyter Notebook. And what it's going to give you access to is that working directory. So you'll see a lot of things in your working directory, such as files and folders. You might have less because you just have started on this path of developing notebooks and data sets in that working directory. So the first thing I want you to do is navigate over, and you click new, and you might have different environments set up in here. So you want to make sure you use the environment that you want to develop in. Remember, we created some of those environments in the previous video. So now that you're in Jupyter Notebook, you will be presented with a screen where you have your window, a top ribbon where you have some options. But the first thing you're going to have is what is called a cell. And this cell gives us the ability to run code just in this cell. So the first thing we want to do is start documenting what we're going to do. And in this first cell, we're going to be loading in some essential libraries that we're going to use for our first project. So when you want to document your code, you just use the hashtag. So we're going to be loading in essentials. And then if you hit enter, you're going to go down to the next line. And at that point, you can see that the color of your code has changed. Now, we're not going to get into too much of the details of Jupyter Notebook, but it's a really excellent IDE where you can do a lot of fancy stuff. But we're mostly dealing with what's in use for Python in Power BI. So we can definitely copy and paste this type of documentation over. So now we want to import the libraries that we want. So import means those are the ones that we're going to be using in our development session. And the first one that we're going to load in is something called Pandas. And Pandas is a data manipulation library that allows you to change tables and information. So let's import Pandas. Now, we can leave it as importing Pandas, but the best practice is, because you are going to be importing things with very long names, to save them as a variable. So we're going to save this as PD. And then we're going to import NumPy. So NumPy is a linear algebra package that allows us to do calculations. So we're going to be bringing in all the standards that we usually use whenever we're doing some data analysis or modeling or machine learning in Python. So I'm going to import NumPy. And then we're going to use as, and we're going to give it the variable np. And then we're going to stop there, and then we're going to press shift and enter to run it, or you can run it by clicking this cell here. And let's see what happens. Okay. Now that we run that cell, and you can see there is a 1 here, that means it has been loaded successfully. Now we can run everything in one cell. We don't need to actually change the cell, but it's easier to say, okay, this code has been successful. Let's go down and create another piece of code. The first thing I want to do is bring in some trial data that we're going to be using. We're going to be using Pandas to bring in that data. So let's do that. And then we're going to jump over to Power BI. So Pandas is going to be what we're going to use to bring in that data. So if I use PD, we know that's connected to Pandas. And then I put a period, then you have access to other functions that are a part of Pandas. And we're going to use the read underscore CSV. And what that's going to do is read the CSV into our development environment. So the CSV that I want is avocado CSV. And I'm going to hit enter and show you what happens. So you can see that that data has been loaded in to our development environment. So let's quickly review what we were able to achieve by bringing in that data. We were able to use the read CSV function and just simply use the file name. The reason we were just able to use the file name is because this file is saved in your working directory. And that directory was indicated on the first part here. So here's all my files. But you may have not saved this file in your working directory. It may be on a different location in your computer. And all you need to do is specify where that is on your computer and use the file name. So we can easily do that by just, instead of using just the file name, and I'm just going to paste in where that is on my computer. And you can see that we are using the forward slashes to indicate where that is on my computer. But this, remember, that's how you would access your particular file. But as we have created variables here and documented our code, we want to do the same to the next cell. So let's say loading in the data set. And now that we have a data set loaded in, we should save this as a variable. So we just click in data set equals, and then let's run that again. And now you can see that we don't see the table again. But if we wanted to see it, we would just click data set and then enter. And you can see each time I run that code, we see a number here. Now this is showing me all of the data, and then you can see this little bit of these ellipsis sign that shows us that there have been some truncated rows. So now that we have this data set variable, the same way we can use a function connected to the Pandas variable, we can use a function connected to our data set. And when you pull data in with Pandas, it's called a data frame. Same as a table, it's a two-dimensional data structure, but we want to see the head of our data, or what is known as the first 5 rows by default. So if I type in period and head, you can see if I rerun that by pressing Shift Enter, we can only see the first 5 rows. And the top row begins with 0 and ends with 4. So that makes 5 rows. We can change this by adding a argument or parameter inside the function. Let's say a 20 if we want to see the top 20 rows. And now you can see that. That is a quick introduction on how to read data into your Jupyter Notebook and import essential libraries. We're going to see how we can do the same using Power BI's Python script editor. See you in the next video.